When this man found out his adoptive mother was the one who caused his real mother's death, he immediately walked away from the sister he had loved for years, and turned around to marry someone else. To get even, he even took over his adoptive father's hospital and mansion, forcing the adoptive family to move into a rundown neighborhood. It turned out that to ruin the enemy who caused his mother's death, Jing Xian had people accuse the director over a patient who had passed away after surgery, faking it as a mistake that became a malpractice case. Because the man had done shady deals at the hospital that Jing Xian had on him, he was naturally under Jing Xian's thumb. Soon the patient's family heard the rumor. They learned their son had not passed from natural causes, so they rushed to the hospital and caused a scene. With a malpractice claim, the director had to accept a police inquiry. Even the things Deputy Minister Young did at the hospital were pinned on him. Knowing nothing, the adoptive father could only ask Jing Xian to investigate for him. He did not know who he had offended to be framed like this. On the surface, Jing Xian told the director not to panic. He would help handle the problem. When the hospital trouble grew, he used his status as the eldest at home, and asked his adoptive mother to hand everything over to him. She was very wary of Jing Xian, so she flatly refused his plan. But even a sharp elder could not avoid the trap he set. She only trusted Deputy Minister Young, who worked with her husband. She asked him to temporarily run the family hospital for the director, and to find a way to get her husband released quickly. She did not know Deputy Minister Young had already been bought by Jing Xian, so he suggested she use all her savings to calm the patient's family. The hospital's funds had been put into other projects. With no choice, she took out all her savings to deal with the mess. But the director now trusted Jing Xian the most. He believed his adoptive son would do everything to save him and the hospital, so he told his wife to hand over all the money in the hospital to Jing Xian. Following her husband's words, she gave him the house deeds and land papers. Even control of the hospital fell into his hands. With all that in hand, Jing Xian kept everything for himself. In the end, the hospital lacked funds to start new programs. Operations stalled and debts piled up. Soon their mansion was somehow put up as collateral. When the adoptive father was released, Jing Xian finally showed his true face. He laid out his real purpose. The loss of his mother could never be forgiven, and the adoptive mother had never truly treated him with care. From the moment he entered that home, he faced constant hardship and mistreatment. What broke him was the non-stop mistreatment he had endured. The director felt deep pain seeing the burn marks on his adoptive son. He had no idea his wife had treated Jing Xian this way for years, but it was too late to change anything. The son he raised had finally become his opponent. Unable to accept the truth, the director suffered a sudden stroke. He collapsed on the couch and stopped responding. After the rescue, he became a man who had lost his faculties, losing everything he had. Min Su and the family had no home to stay in, and very little savings left. In the end, they had to move to the roughest neighborhood in Korea. Seeing his enemies pushed to this point, Jing Xian arrived feeling triumphant and looked over their plight. Even after falling so far, his adoptive mother still acted proud when facing the person she disliked, keeping the same air of superiority as before. But now Jing Xian had no reason to take her seriously.